Two of the most commonly requested things that I get as a teacher is, how do I hit my driver further and how do I stop slicing the ball? Well, in today's video, we're going to be concentrating on how to hit the driver further, in the sense that hopefully by the end of this video, you've gained 10 meters of distance in your driver. So what are the two most important things that you can do? Well, number one is in your setup and creating effective spine tilt. Now, I do use the word effective spine tilt because there are a lot of people that have spine tilt but get it in the wrong manner. And what does this mean? Well, it means that they know they need to have some sort of tilt in their setup, so they lift the lead side shoulder up really high, get the trail side shoulder underneath, and really, yes, we've got a little bit of a tilt here, but we've got it in the incorrect way, and that's going to create a lot of ineffective strikes. So for you to produce effective tilt in your setup, it would mean that when we take our setup, our shoulders are nice and level, we get into our new posture position, and what I would want you to do is you need to push your lead side hip towards the target. And by pushing the lead side hip towards the target, you'll create a little bit of tilt through the upper body. Don't simply lift the lead side shoulder, push the lead side hip towards the target, and that will give your body a little bit of tilt. So creating that tilt will help to produce what we would call an upward strike on the ball. And the more upward we get up on the golf ball, especially for us club golfers who only average anywhere between the 90 to 100 mile per hour swing speed, it's very important to produce an upward strike. It also reduces spin. But then it's also important that when you're striking the golf ball, that you create the right upward strike on the golf ball. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people who get an upward strike on the ball but create too much spin. And that's because what they're doing is they're flicking their wrists through the golf ball. And yes, the club head is moving up, but in doing that motion, you're creating a lot of spin. So the ball may go high, but it won't go far. The better spin numbers we have, anywhere between the 1900 to 2400 RPM mark, the ball is going to penetrate through the air more effectively. So what you need to understand that when you are trying to create that upward sensation, an extension through the lead side leg and the handle moving upwards through the strike will produce less spin and more effective speeds. So we have two things there that you can do, one in your setup and one thing in your swing to help you produce a lot more distance. So number one, remember in your setup, push the lead side hip towards the target to create an effective shoulder tilt. And number two, don't flick your hands through, swing the handle through. And that will give you a good upward strike on the golf ball and help you produce a lot more speed. Once you've rehearsed those maneuvers, that one thing in your setup and that one thing in your swing, you can then get a pool noodle and put it out in front of your golf ball. And what you're trying to do with that pool noodle is ensure that the club head comes up and over that noodle. Now, there are people out there that hit downwards on their driver, but those guys generally produce anywhere between 120 to 125 miles per hour of swing speed. So they don't need an upward strike. They can produce a downward strike, but because of the sheer velocity of their strike, the ball has enough loft. We don't have that kind of speed. So remember, this is based for the person who's swinging anywhere between 90 to 105 miles per hour of swing speed. But like I said, get that pool noodle, put it in front of the golf ball, get that effective shoulder tilt by pushing that lead side hip towards the target, and then from there, remember, you're trying to swing the handle up through the strike. Work on those feels, and I guarantee you'll just start to find that extra 10 meters of length in your driver. Work on that, leave a comment below, and let me know if that helped you find that extra distance.